Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? We're back here again. Welcome to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Keep hitting that like button if you're already subscribed, but if you're not, follow that prompter below. All right, so we got a lot to get into, and let's just go right to it, good people. Let's see what's going on. All right, we see that the NASDAQ is down by 283 points, almost 2%, after a fake out run up. Now, let me just start by saying this at the beginning of this video. Yesterday, I said I was going to wait. I'm just going to wait, and then I'm looking at the news. They're still negotiating, which they are negotiating supposedly in the White House right now. And I said I was going to wait. And then soon as closing bell yesterday, I look at the pre-markets, they're up. And then someone says, aha, you idiot. Market's already up. I'm just telling you guys, I don't know everything. And then right behind that, someone said, Larry, just tell the people the truth. We're in the recession heading to the Great Depression that's going to be worse than the Depression of 29. And then, you got both ends. And all I could do was come here and provide you guys with good information. Now, I almost went against, I bought nothing today. I almost went against my pattern, what I think, with my emotions. And then my brain slapped my emotions down and says, no, stick to your principles. There's things that need to happen. Number one, tonight, there's a false narrative that the tariffs on China are on right now. That's not true. They go into effect actually tonight. Midnight. And then on the 10th, the reciprocal tariffs from China comes on to us. And so now we have this back and forth, okay? And so remember, don't try to chase the bottom. If you try to chase the bottom, you would have gotten faked out twice in a 24-hour period. Let's go right to it. We could see that it was a fake out morning. Not just for the NASDAQ, for the S&P and many of the stocks that are your darlings, right? And it was an absolute fake out. So we had a run up in the morning, right? Look at that. Look at that green. It was running up in the morning. Everybody celebrated. Everybody was in their calls. And then you go to lunch. And then what happened? Absolute tanked, right? And just when you thought it was over, came back. Look at that. 1.4% and then continued to crater. Overall, we're down 2.15%. These are the times we're living in. And you just have to make a decision, make a plan, solid plan on what you're going to do and stick to it. Okay. Now, Peter Navarro is Trump's his top trade advisor. And some would say he's the architect behind these tariffs. And now they are going back and forth. And even so, Elon is on his way out. Doge is on its way out. And now Elon is calling Navarro an idiot, okay? A moron, all right? Dumber than a sack of bricks. And now Elon is saying that, these tariffs are not the absolute best thing, okay? So we have this falling apart, okay, of the cabinets, so to speak, right? And so now I want to play you guys this and we'll move on from there.
Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, had said that the China tariffs go into effect or went into effect today at noon. That is inaccurate. I just spoke to Caroline Leavitt in her office just a couple of seconds ago. She says that all of the China tariffs are scheduled to go into effect tonight at midnight, and any reporting that that happened at noon is not correct. She is working to clear that up inside the building, and I'm here to bring it to you. So wherever that report was coming from, not accurate. Tariffs go into place as was the schedule tonight at midnight, Scott.
Yeah.
So you heard that. That was a farce. It was not true. And that's what happened in situations like this. You got a lot of stuff that causes the market to move erratically. And just when you thought it was over, it's not. Then we got the White House press briefing, all right? And they were talking about tariffs. Let's just listen for a quick second.
Follow up on tariffs. Kevin Hassett said today that the administration is prioritizing talks with Japan and South Korea, other trading partners. Are there other countries on that list that you guys can name publicly that you're having serious discussions with?
Sure. As you have heard from various administration officials, myself included, there have been nearly 70 countries that have reached out to the administration last time I checked. But again, I hear the phones are ringing off the hook. There are foreign leaders who want to fly to Washington tonight and get on a plane to negotiate with this country, which shows you the leverage that the president is using. It shows you the rest of the world needs the United States of America to do business with. Israel, obviously, yesterday, you heard a public statement from Prime Minister Netanyahu. The president has detailed his calls with the leaders of Japan and South Korea. We are going to prioritize our allies and our partners around the world first when it comes to these negotiations, and the trade team will be divvying them up again to make tailor-made trade deals around the world. Ed, go ahead. As promised.
Yes, thank you. You mentioned the 70 countries or so. I'm curious, though, under what conditions at this point would President Trump talk to President Xi about tariffs?
Look, I just spoke to the president about this, and he believes that China wants to make a deal with the United States. He believes China has to make a deal with the United States. It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China tonight at midnight.
104% tariffs on China tonight, right? And remember, China's reciprocal tariffs, all right? You hit me, I'm hitting you. That goes into effect tomorrow. So these two negative news stories have yet to hit the market. I don't care how green it is, okay? So I had a clip I was gonna play. I'm not gonna play that one. And so now recession, all right? Recession probability is going up right now. It is absolutely ramping up, even as CEOs and JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon says, we are already in a recession, okay? And we won't know, of course, like I said, you need 2 quarters of decline in GDP, right, with a tick up in inflation and job loss, and we need time to say that, okay? So, or to see that, all right? So now you have a lot of Senate Republicans that are just saying, please, please, Trump, please, uncle, it's too much, and people are getting hurt. Some says some small businesses are already getting hurt. We're not going politics. We're just talking about what's going on right now, okay? Foreign holders of Treasury securities. So these are the people that hold our debt, good people. Japan, China, UK, China, Canada, and France. And you can see Japan holds most of our debt. All right. So a lot of you go, hey, why are you talking about debt? Because that's what's behind this tariff. Josh made a video yesterday, and he and I have been talking about this, and I see the exact same thing. OK, so it's about lowering rates so we can pay down this debt. There's a whole lot of other things because there's mixed messages about why from the White House. Mixed messages, okay? Is it to even the playing field? Is it so we can make a negotiation? Or is it, no, all of these tariffs are going to stick regardless of negotiation? All of these different things is causing the market to whipsaw, okay? Not based on what you think, you could say whatever, but we're keeping our eyes on our money, okay? And so look at this. This is how much investment is coming in from overseas, guys. You can see that. A lot of people are investing in the American market, which raises GDP. There is one of the things that you want to keep your eye on, and you want to keep your eye on the fundamentals and the technicals, but the news stories have risen above both of these because technically things still look bearish. Fundamentally, they are mixed up. There is nothing fundamentally wrong with these companies. As a matter of fact, a lot of these PEs have fallen to where what the companies used to cost us, the PE, have come way down. price to earnings. And now a lot of these are reasonable, and some stock have been oversold, and some will get grossly oversold, even with a threat of deepening a deeper recession. All right. And so I will tell you, I didn't do any buying, but I did buy some today. And here's one of the things that I did buy. I bought it yesterday. I remember I told you guys I had my buy order set on Bitcoin at 76. We're back down, good people. Look at this. XRP is back down. Look at that, to 181. Bitcoin back down to 76. Myself, I'm not telling you, I'm buying from 76 down to 74. And as soon as I get a buy order fills and it turns around, goes back up, I put another buy order in. So I made this video to tell you that I am not jumping. Okay, I'm not jumping. Hold on a second. This is not rope we're playing, good people. We are playing double dutch. This is double dutch. We are not playing checkers. This is chess, and you have to make strategic moves, and you got to move at the right time, good people. And if you move too early, then you have messed up. Now, here's one of the things and one of the reasons why I think we're in a buy range. If you bought today, you're going to be fine. If you bought on yesterday, you're going to be fine. And this is why. Listen to
Yeah, so that bullish dip buying did not last too long. JP Morgan now calling out massive selling by retail investors today after what was a historic level of buying that we saw last week. As of 2 o'clock today, individual investors had sold a net $1.7 billion, and outflows from some of those single stocks more than offset the inflows into ETFs. They also turned bearish on NVIDIA. That is a widely held retail investor favorite. There was about $244 million of an imbalance there. Also turned bearish on Tesla and the rest of the Mag 7 except for Google. This is all according to JP Morgan. And Ford was net sold following last week's strongest buy streak for that stock in its history when you look at the retail flows. It does come after, I mentioned, record action from this group last week. That happened Thursday, if you see that chart there, but Vanda Research noting that even on Friday, activity was pretty close to those records. Some defensive trades popped up, though. An inverse ETF for the tech-heavy Qs climbed to the top of Vanda's most traded list. First time that has happened in more than 2 years, suggesting a bit more hedging by that group. Also, some pretty steady buying of Vanguard's S&P index, so analysts say that tends to hint at dollar cost averaging by some of the more conservative investors. And Robinhood noted that aggressive dip buying did start wearing off. Steve Quirk, the chief brokerage officer over there, telling me he has been seeing this migration to ETFs over some of the riskier single stocks, Mel.
So you see, the investor started investing last week, right? And then they fell off. The retail investor, you and I. And then, and it was our darlings, you know, Tesla, NVIDIA, Palantir. Those are our darling stock, good people. And then we stopped buying. There is a message here. This is the most important part of this video. One of the ways where you know you're nearing the bottom or close to the bottom is when people stop buying. And so if you've purchased anywhere from last Thursday, Friday, Monday, and now Tuesday, you'll be okay. All you need is time and more dime. Time and dime, right? And if you got dry powder, you can just dollar cost average, right? And this is why it's not good to buy every dip. Now, just like you said, the retail investor bought last Thursday, bought last Friday, it fell, and they tapped out. And where are they going? To the ETFs. And where have I been focused here? The ETFs. Again, you guys know QQQ, VUG, VTI, VOO, you name it. I know you guys have other ones that have lower fees. It doesn't matter. Just be well diversified and don't just have QQQ, which is an ETF, a basket of stock all in one. Don't just have tech. So I have growth, tech, and large cap, right? And so that's why I diversify a basket of ETFs, and then we will get into. Now, I had some DCA, some stock that were mostly tech that I shared in my money moves, and I'm going to stop buying them on tomorrow or maybe Friday, but maybe tomorrow, right? Because I bought them, I was dollar cost averaging at the bottom, and then I'm just gonna stop and I'm gonna let it cook. Okay, good people? Hey, great news for you beginner options. Today is going to be the first class. So as soon as you finish watching this video, come over to my money moves. It will be the only link below in the description. And I'll also leave it in a comment. So it'll be pinned comment. All right. Or you'll see, click right here. And as a beginner, not you guys that are killing it in options, this is not for you. As a beginner, come over and join us. $1 a day, less than $1 a day. And we are going to, from absolute beginners options, that's going to be money moves, stocks and crypto, but I'm going to change that to stocks, crypto options. Okay. Put in the information and then you're in. It does not link to Patreon. Okay, but it has everything a Patreon has in it. Now, we're not live trading, but I'm showing you, I'm teaching you guys how to make money with options. So when the market goes down and when the market goes up. So until further notice, Tuesday through Wednesdays, we're going to be teaching and we're going to take you guys on this journey so you can make money every single day, including days like this, when the market goes up and the market goes down. You could have made money going up and then made money going down. But what you shouldn't have done is put in a call option and then go to lunch or go do your laundry, right? Because then you turn around, you would have lost all your money. We're going to protect you from making that mistake. That's going to be money moves. It is going to be the only link in this video, and we will see you tomorrow. Patience pays.